Deep in the cold dark of space, far beyond the edge of the Milky Way, a broken warship floated. Its metal skin was cracked. Lights flickered inside. Alarms had stopped screaming hours ago. Now, only silence filled the ship, except for one room. In the command center, 5 alien officers sat in front of a large screen. Their blue skin glowed faintly in the dim light. They were Zenthari, proud warriors from the strongest empire in the galaxy. But now they looked worried. On the screen, the same video played again.
And again.
A human woman stood in a plain room. No armor, no weapons, just a simple gray uniform. Her face was calm. Her eyes were sad. "My name is Commander Elira Vale," she said. "I speak for Earth, for Terra." The Zenthari captain, Rellik, crossed his arms. "Still watching that weak speech," he growled. "Earth is gone."
Dust.
"Why do you keep playing it?" "Because she said something strange," answered Kira, the youngest officer. "Listen." The video continued. "For 300 years, Commander Vale said, we asked for peace. We shared our knowledge. We offered help. But you called us primitive. You called us soft. You said we were no threat."
She paused.
Looked straight into the camera. "You were right. We were holding back. Not because we were weak, but because we made a promise." Rellik laughed. "A promise? What promise?" "To water their little plants." But Kira didn't laugh. She leaned closer. "Now," Vale said, her voice dropping lower, "you've pushed us too far. You attacked our colonies.
You killed our people.
You mocked our warnings." She took a deep breath. "So we stopped holding back." The screen went black. Silence filled the room. Rellik stood up. "That was weeks ago. Earth exploded in the Sol system. We saw the fireball ourselves. This is just a ghost message." But Kira shook her head. "Then why does our long-range scanner show nothing where Earth was? Not debris, not radiation, not even a signal. It's like it was erased." Just then, a red light flashed on the main panel. "What now?" Rellik snapped. The ship's AI spoke in a flat voice. "Energy surge detected near Sol system. Unknown source. Power level off the scale." The officers stared at each other. "Impossible," Rellik said. "There's nothing left in Sol." But Kira pulled up a star map. A tiny dot pulsed where Earth used to be. Not a planet, not a ship, just a pulse of strange energy.
"Let's go see," she said.
"No," Rellik shouted. "We have orders. Move to the Andromeda front. Earth is finished." But Kira didn't listen. She typed fast. The ship's damaged engines hummed to life. With a lurch, they turned toward home, toward Sol. 3 days later, they dropped out of fast travel near Pluto. The Sol system looked wrong. All the planets were still there.
Mars.
Jupiter.
Saturn.
But where Earth should be, nothing. Empty space. No wreck. No dust cloud. "Nothing," whispered the pilot. Then Kira gasped. "Look." In the distance, a small object floated. Not a rock. Not a ship. It was smooth. Black.
Round.
About the size of a city block. "It wasn't there before," Kira said. They moved closer. No signals. No heat. But as they got within 10 kilometers, the object changed. It unfolded. Like a flower made of metal and light, it opened into 5 long arms. In the center, a single red eye blinked on. "Back us up," Rellik yelled. But it was too late. The eye glowed brighter. The ship's controls went wild. Lights died. Engines shut down. Even the oxygen recyclers stopped. In total darkness, only the red eye shone through the window. Then silence. No sound. No movement. Just fear. After 5 minutes, the ship's power came back. The object was gone. But something worse had happened. Kira checked the star charts. "Captain, Earth isn't just gone." "What do you mean?" She turned the screen toward him. "According to every database in the galaxy, Earth never existed." Rellik stared. "That's madness." But Kira showed him the proof. Historical records, maps, trade logs, All changed, as if Earth had been erased from history itself. Then a new message popped up on the screen, but no one sent it. It read, "You ignored the warning. Now you will learn what we hid." Rellik's hands shook. Delete it. But the message wouldn't go away. Outside the window, the stars seemed dimmer, as if something big was waking up far away. Kira whispered, "They didn't destroy Earth. They protected it. And now whatever they were hiding is free." The ship floated in silence. No one spoke. No one moved. Because for the first time in their lives, the proud Centauri felt something they hadn't felt in centuries.
Fear.
And deep in the heart of the Sol system, where Earth once turned peacefully around the sun, something ancient stirred. It had waited long enough. Now the galaxy would know the truth. Not all power shouts. Some power waits, in silence. 3 weeks had passed since the Centauri warship vanished near Pluto. No distress call. No wreckage. Just silence. Across the galaxy, people tried to forget Earth. Gone, they said. A weak world that burned too fast. But deep down, many couldn't sleep. Because Earth didn't just die, it disappeared like a bad dream. No one knew this better than Aris. She wasn't a soldier, not a leader, just a human scout, alone in a small, gray ship called the Wren. Hidden for months in the icy cloud at the edge of the solar system, she watched everything. Her parents were scientists. They worked on Earth until the last day. They sent her away with one order: stay hidden. Don't answer any calls. Wait for the signal. But no signal ever came. Now, Aris floated in total blackness, far beyond Neptune.
Her food was low.
Her hope was lower. But she still checked the old Earth channels every hour. Then something changed. Her scanner beeped. Not a ship. Not a weapon. Just a tiny pulse, coming from where Earth used to be. Her heart jumped. She powered up her engines. Slowly, quietly, the Wren moved toward the inner system. As she got closer, her screens filled with strange readings. No radiation. No debris. Just calm. Too calm. Like the whole solar system was holding its breath. She passed Mars. Empty. Abandoned. The red planet looked lonely. Then Jupiter. Its storms still raged. But something was off. The moons, they weren't in the right places. They moved, Aris whispered. Not by nature. By something else. She kept going. Past the asteroid belt. Past Venus. And then she saw it. Earth. But not the Earth she remembered. It was there. Floating in its old orbit. But upside down. North was south. Oceans where desert should be. And the whole planet glowed a soft red, like embers under ash. Worst of all, no cities. No lights. No signs of life. Just one thing stood tall in the center of the old Atlantic Ocean. A black tower.
Smooth. Silent.
Higher than any mountain. Aris's hands shook as she zoomed in. The tower had no doors. No windows. Just a single line of light running down its side, pulsing like a heartbeat. "Mom, Dad, what did you do?" she whispered. Suddenly, her radio crackled. A voice, not human, not alien, spoke in calm, clear English. "Approach, child of Terra." Aris froze. No one knew she was here. "Who is this?" she said. No answer. Just the same words, repeated. "Approach, child of Terra." She wanted to run, but this was home. Her home, even if it was broken. She steered the Wren closer. As she entered Earth's atmosphere, or what was left of it, the sky turned purple. Winds howled, but not like storms. Like voices. Whispering. She landed near what used to be London. Or maybe Paris. The land had shifted. Nothing looked familiar. Stepping out, she felt the ground vibrate under her boots. Warm. Alive. Then she saw them. Figures in the distance. Tall. Still. Watching. Not Centauri. Not robots. Humans, but changed. Their eyes shone silver. Their skin had faint lines of light, like tree roots under skin. They didn't speak. Just pointed toward the tower. Aris walked for hours. No animals. No birds. No wind in trees, because there were no trees. Just black grass that moved when she stepped near it. Finally, she reached the ruins of an old lab. Buried under stone, she found a data pad still working. With trembling fingers, she turned it on. A video played. Her mother's face appeared. Aris, her mother said, tears in her eyes. If you're seeing this, we failed. Aris's breath caught. For 50 years, her mother continued, we didn't build weapons. We guarded a secret. Deep under Antarctica, we found something. Not made by humans. Not made by anyone in this galaxy. She looked over her shoulder, scared. It sleeps. It dreams. It chose Earth long ago to be its keeper. We called it the Guardian. It gave us one rule: never use its power in anger. Never show it to the stars. Her voice broke. But after the Zenthri attacked our colony on Luna, we broke that rule. Just once. We asked the Guardian for help. She paused. Swallowed hard. It said yes. The video ended. Aris stood in silence. Rain began to fall, but the drops glowed as they hit the ground. Then, distant thunder. Not from clouds. From space. She looked up. Dozens of Zenthri warships dropped out of fast travel. Huge. Angry. Guns ready. A new voice boomed from their lead ship, Commander Rellik. Earth, he shouted over open comms. You think your little tricks scare us? We burned your world once. We'll do it again. Aris ducked behind a broken wall. Her heart pounded. The Zenthri fired. Bright red beams shot toward the black tower. But the beams never hit. Halfway down they stopped, hovered, then turned around, and fired back at the Zenthri fleet. One ship exploded instantly. Another lost all power and began to spin out of control. Rellik screamed orders. Fall back. Fall back. But it was too late. The black tower pulsed brighter. The red glow spread across the planet like fire, but cold fire.
Silent.
Then the sky changed. Not dark. Not light. Just empty. The stars vanished. Not covered by clouds.
Gone.
As if someone turned off the universe outside Earth. Aris dropped to her knees. What is happening? From the tower, a deep sound began.
Low. Steady.
Like a drum. Or a heartbeat. The remaining Zenthri ships tried to escape, but their engines died. One by one, they fell from the sky like dead birds. And then, silence. Total silence. No wind. No machines. No voices. Just the tower. And its slow, rising hum. Aris looked at her mother's data pad. A new file had appeared. She opened it. It showed a map of the galaxy. And on every major alien world, Zenthri, Chlor, Vexen, even peaceful ones, a small black, now appeared. New towers. Growing. Earth isn't alone anymore, Aris whispered. She finally understood. Earth wasn't hiding a weapon. It was hiding a judge. And the trial had just begun. The black tower stood alone in the center of a dead ocean. No waves. No fish. Just still, red water that shimmered like glass. Aris crouched behind a broken piece of old highway, watching. Her breath came fast. Around her, the Zenthri ships lay crashed, twisted metal, silent engines. No survivors. Not even bodies. Just empty shells. Then a sound. Not a voice. Not a machine. A breath. Deep. Slow. Like a giant sleeping under the sea. The tower pulsed again. This time, the light didn't just glow, it moved. Like veins under skin. Aris remembered her mother's last words. It's not a weapon. It's alive.
She didn't believe it then.
Now, she had no choice. Suddenly, the ground trembled. Not an earthquake. Something worse. From cracks in the ocean floor, thin black vines rose, smooth, wet, glistening. They crawled up the tower, wrapping around it like arms. Then they spread outward, across the land, over ruins, even into the sky. Wherever they touched, the world changed. Dead trees grew new leaves, but the leaves glowed blue. Broken buildings sealed themselves with strange crystal. Even the air felt heavier, like the planet was thinking. Aris backed away. "It's rebuilding Earth," she whispered, "but not for us." Then movement. One of the changed humans appeared at the edge of the vines. Silver eyes, skin humming with soft light. "You must come," the figure said. Its voice was many voices at once, male, female, young, old. "Come where?" Aris asked, to see what the guardian saw. Before she could refuse, the vines shifted. A path opened in the ground, a dark tunnel, lit by pulsing red light. Aris knew it was a trap, or a test, but she had no home left, only truth. She stepped inside. The tunnel led deep, past old subway lines, past buried labs, down to a place no human had ever reached. At the bottom, a cavern wider than a city, and in the center, not a machine, not a creature, a heart, gigantic, beating slowly, made of stone and light and something older than stars. Each beat sent a ripple through the planet. Aris felt it in her chest. The changed human stood beside her. "This is the Guardian," it said. "It slept for millions of years. Earth protected it. We fed it stories, dreams, hope. In return, it kept us safe." "Then why wake it?" Aris asked. "Because they broke the rule," the figure replied. "You don't use a god to win a war." Aris remembered the Zenthari attack on Luna. Her brother died there. She'd begged her parents to fight back. And they did. Just once. That was enough. The Guardian opened its eyes. Not two. Hundreds. All over the cavern walls. Glowing silver. Watching her. A voice filled her mind. Not in words, but in feelings. "You called for power. Now you must carry its weight." Then, images flooded her. She saw other worlds. Zenthari cities burning. Chlor children hiding in tunnels. Vexen elders praying to broken statues. And on each world, a new black tower rising from the ground. Growing. Breathing. Watching. "The punishment has begun," the changed human said. "No," Aris said, shaking her head. "This isn't punishment. This is judgment." The Guardian's heart beat once, louder. The images changed. Now she saw peace. Weapons turning to dust. Soldiers hugging. Enemies sharing food. "Wait," Aris said. "It's not destroying them. It's changing them." The figure nodded. The Guardian doesn't kill. It heals. But healing hurts. Before Aris could speak again, the cavern shook. Alarms, old Earth alarms, screamed in her mind. She rushed back up the tunnel, vines parting for her like water. When she burst onto the surface, she saw why. A new Zenthari fleet had arrived. Bigger, angrier, led by the Emperor himself. From orbit, a voice boomed across the planet. "Earth, you will answer for your tricks. Surrender, or we erase your son." Aris's blood ran cold. They had a star killer weapon, a bomb that could turn Sol into a black hole. If they fired it, the whole system would die. She looked at the tower. It stood still, silent. Then slowly it turned. Not the whole tower, just the top part, like a head looking up at the sky. The Zenthari ships stopped firing. Confused. The Emperor's voice came again. "Last chance, primitives." The tower did not answer with words. It answered with sound. A low hum, so deep it cracked mountains. The sky turned black again. Not night, not cloud, just nothing. Stars gone. Sun gone. Only the red glow of Earth remained. The Zenthari fleet panicked. Engines failed. Shields dropped. Then the impossible. The Starkiller weapon, still on their flagship, activated. But not toward the sun. It turned, pointed at their own ship. "No!" the Emperor screamed over open comms. "Shut it down. Shut it." The bomb exploded, not with fire, with silence. One moment, the flagship was there. The next gone. Not destroyed. Unmade. As if it never existed. The other ships tried to run. But the black vines shot into the sky. Thin as thread, strong as steel. They wrapped around each warship and pulled them down,
Gently.
like a parent catching a falling child. When the ships touched the ground, they didn't crash. They changed. Metal turned to stone. Guns grew flowers. Cockpits filled with soft light. And from inside, Zenthri soldiers stepped out, their faces calm, eyes clear. No hate, no fear. They looked at Aris and bowed. The tower's hum softened. The sky returned. Sunlight fell on the new earth, alive, strange, watching. Aris fell to her knees, tears in her eyes. She finally understood. The Guardian didn't want war. It wanted the war to end. Forever. But as she looked up at the sky, she saw something new. On every horizon, on Mars, on Titan, even on distant Pluto, new towers were rising. And one of them was already opening its eye. Aris stood in the ruins of London, watching the changed Zenthri walk barefoot through the glowing grass. They didn't speak. They didn't fight. They just were. Peaceful. Empty of anger. It should have felt like victory. But it didn't. Because peace without choice wasn't peace. It was control. She turned away and walked toward the Black Tower. The vines parted for her like old friends. Inside, the air hummed with warmth. At the base of the tower, she found a small room, one that hadn't been there yesterday. Inside, a single chair, and on it, a data chip with her name carved in light. Aris. She touched it. Instantly, memories flooded her, not hers. Earth's. She saw the first humans who found the Guardian under Antarctica. They didn't dig it up. It called to them, showed them visions of a galaxy without war, taught them how to listen to the stars. For 200 years, Earth kept the secret. No weapons, no armies, just quiet strength. Then came the Zenthri. They demanded tribute. When Earth refused, they bombed a peaceful colony on the moon, killed 12,000 people, including Aris's brother. Her parents broke the rule. They asked the Guardian for help. And the Guardian said yes. But it warned them, once I act, I cannot stop. The balance must be restored. They didn't listen. Now, the balance was being restored, world by world. Aris pulled the chip away, gasping. Outside, the changed humans gathered around her. One stepped forward, a woman with silver eyes and long black hair. Her voice was soft, but clear. We tried to stop them, she said. We begged the leaders not to use the Guardian's power and rage. But grief made them blind. Who are you? Aris asked. I was Dr. Lena Cho. I worked with your mother. Aris's eyes widened. You're alive? Alive? No, Lena said gently. I died the day the Guardian woke. But it kept a part of me. To guide others like you. She pointed to the sky. Look. Aris looked up. Above Earth, thousands of small black spheres floated, launched from the tower days ago. They'd been ignored by the galaxy, called human junk. But now they were landing. On Zenthri cities, on Chlor deserts, on ocean worlds, jungle planets, icy moons. Each sphere touched the ground and grew into towers, just like Earth's. The Guardian isn't punishing, Lena said. It's healing. But healing needs truth. What truth? Aris asked. That power without wisdom is poison. Just then, a new sound filled the air, not from the tower, but from space. A broadcast. The Zenthri Emperor's voice, shaking, broken. People of the galaxy, we were wrong. Earth was never weak. They were waiting. And we failed their test. He paused.
Cried.
We beg for mercy. Silence followed. Then, on every world with a new tower, the ground trembled. The towers began to hum. Not a threat, a question. Will you change? Most worlds stayed quiet, afraid. But one, Vexa, a small farming planet, stepped forward. Their leader walked to the base of the new tower and laid down his weapon. The tower glowed blue, and the people smiled. Aris felt hope rise in her chest. Maybe this could work. Maybe the galaxy could heal. But then Lena grabbed her arm. Not all will choose peace, she whispered. As if on cue, A red alert flashed in Aris's wrist device, a signal from deep space. A hidden Zenthari fleet had gathered near the edge of the galaxy. Not to fight, to hide. And in their hold, a doomsday bomb. Not for stars, for planets. Designed to erase Earth and the Guardian in one blast. They think if they kill the source, Lena said, the towers will die. Aris's stomach dropped. They're going to destroy everything just to prove they're still in control. She looked at the calm faces around her, at the gentle vines, at the sky full of new towers. This wasn't war anymore. It was a test of the soul, and the galaxy was about to fail it again. Lena handed her a small black seed.
Take this.
Go to the scout ship. If Earth falls, you must carry the truth. Aris held the seed. It pulsed like a tiny heart. I won't run, she said. You must, Lena replied. Because if the Guardian dies, the healing stops. And the galaxy will drown in its own hate. Above them, the tower's hum grew louder. Not angry.
Sad.
As if it already knew what was coming. And as Aris ran toward the wren, she looked back one last time. The changed humans stood in a circle, hands joined, singing an old Earth lullaby in perfect harmony. The tower glowed brighter, waiting, not for war, for betrayal. The hidden Zenthari fleet waited in the cold dark beyond Neptune. 50 warships.
Silent. Dark.
No lights. No signals. At their center floated the Doombringer, a ship built not to win wars, but to end them forever. In its belly rested the planet killer, a black sphere that didn't explode. It unmade. One shot, and Earth, tower, Guardian, and all would vanish like a forgotten dream. Commander Rellik stood on the bridge, his hands clenched. He wasn't the proud warrior from before. His eyes were tired, haunted. We do this for survival, he told his crew. Not hate. If the Guardian lives, free will dies. We become puppets in a peaceful cage. No one cheered. No one argued. They just nodded. Because they believed it. Or wanted to. Far below, on Earth, Aris watched from orbit in the Wren. Her ship was small, hidden, but her heart was loud. She tried to warn the other worlds. Sent messages to every planet with a tower.
Most didn't reply, but a few did.
Vex's leader wrote back. We laid down our guns. Our children play in fields that once burned. Don't let them destroy this. Aris cried as she read it. Then she turned her ship toward the approaching fleet. She had no weapons. No army. Just a black seed in her pocket and a voice in her head that whispered, show them the truth. Across the galaxy, the towers stood tall. On desert worlds, they grew from sand. On ocean planets, they rose from deep trenches. In city centers, they pushed through steel and glass like trees through concrete. Most people feared them, but some listened. On the mining planet core, 7, a worker touched the tower's base. Instantly, he saw his own life. Every lie he told, every friend he betrayed, every time he chose fear over kindness. He fell to his knees and wept. The tower didn't punish him. It forgave him. And in that moment, his hate melted away. This happened on dozens of worlds. But not all. On Zenther Prime, the Zenthari homeworld, a mob gathered around their tower. They threw rocks, fired lasers, screamed, we won't be controlled. The tower did nothing. It just waited. Because judgment isn't forced. It's chosen. Back in Sol System, the Doombringer powered up its weapon. Target locked, said the weapons officer. Earth's core. One shot. Rellik stared at the planet below.
Red.
Quiet. Beautiful in its strangeness. He thought of his daughter. She was on Vexa now, living with humans, learning their songs. She hadn't spoken to him since the towers came. Fire, he whispered. The black sphere shot toward Earth, like a falling star. Aris screamed into her comms. No. But she was too far. Too small. The sphere hit the atmosphere.
And stopped.
Not exploded. Not deflected. Just stopped. Hanging 100 meters above the black tower. Silence. Then the tower reached up, not with arms, with light. Tendrils of silver energy wrapped around the doomsday sphere.
Gently.
Like a parent holding a crying child, the sphere shrank, faded, turned into a single white flower. It floated down and landed at Rellik's feet on his view screen, projected inside the Doombringer as if by magic. He fell to his knees. What are you?" he whispered. From every tower across the galaxy, a voice spoke, not in words, but in feeling, in memory, in truth. "We are your reflection." Then every screen in the fleet lit up, not with Earth, with their own past. Rellik saw himself ordering the bombing of Luna, saw children running, saw Aris's brother die. His crew saw their own crimes, lies, betrayals, cruelties they thought no one knew. The towers didn't accuse. They just showed. And in that showing, shame bloomed. The Doombringer's guns powered down. One by one, the fleet turned off their weapons. But then a new voice broke through. The Zenthari Emperor. From his hidden bunker, he screamed, "Do not fall for their tricks. Burn the towers. Burn them all." He'd loaded every loyal ship with old-world bombs, nuclear, plasma, acid. "Destroy the towers," he ordered. "Even if we die." Across the galaxy, his followers obeyed. On 23 worlds, ships dove toward the towers, screaming vows of death. Aris watched in horror. "This isn't war," she whispered. "This is suicide." The first bomb hit a tower on Core 7. It exploded in fire. But the tower didn't fall. It absorbed the fire. Then released it as rain. Warm rain that healed burns, cleaned poison, made flowers bloom in ash. The attackers stopped, confused. Then they wept. But the Emperor didn't care. He launched his final weapon, a signal that would overload every tower at once. A virus of hate. "Let the galaxy burn free," he shouted. The signal shot out at light speed. It reached Earth first. The black tower shook. Its light flickered, then went out. For 3 seconds, the whole planet went dark. Aris held her breath. Then, the tower glowed brighter than ever. And from its peak, a wave of pure white light shot into space. Not destruction. Clarity. The signal didn't break the towers. It fed them. Because hate, when seen clearly, loses its power. One by one, the attacking ships powered down. The Emperor's voice cut off mid-scream. Silence returned. But this time it was peaceful. Not empty. Full. Of understanding. Aris looked at Earth, still red, still strange, still guarded. The price of power wasn't strength. It was truth. And the galaxy had just paid it. Peace had come to the galaxy. But it felt strange. No more warships. No more bombs. No more angry speeches on broadcast channels. Instead, gardens grew on old battlefields. Children from enemy worlds played together in floating parks. Weapons were melted down and turned into art. Everyone called it a miracle. But Aris wasn't sure. She stood on the edge of Earth's new ocean, watching the black tower pulse softly under a calm sun. The Zenthari fleet that once meant to destroy Earth now helped rebuild it, quietly, humbly, without pride. Yet something nagged at her. Did they choose this, or were they changed against their will? She walked toward the tower. The vines parted. The air hummed like a lullaby. Inside, she found the circle of changed humans, Lena among them. They sat in silence, eyes closed, hands resting on the warm floor. "You feel it too," Lena said without opening her eyes. "Feel what?" Aris asked. "The doubt." Aris sat down. "If peace is real, why does it feel like a dream I didn't choose?" Lena opened her eyes. "Silver. Kind. Because peace without pain isn't real. And the Guardian didn't give peace. It gave clarity." Just then, a signal beeped on Aris's wristband. A message from every world in the galaxy. Not from leaders. From ordinary people. "We need to hear Earth's voice. Not the towers. Not the Guardians. Yours." Aris looked up. "They want answers." "They want hope," Lena corrected. "And only a human can give it." So Aris did something no one had tried since the towers rose. She spoke into the old Earth broadcast system, simple, raw, human words. "My name is Aris," she said. "I'm not a hero. I lost my family. I was angry. I wanted revenge. But Earth chose something harder." She paused,
Took a breath.
"We didn't win because we were strong. We won because we stopped lying to others and to ourselves." Across the galaxy, billions listened. On Zenther Prime, a soldier dropped his old knife into a fire. On Vexa, a mother held her child and cried, not from sadness, but relief. And deep in his bunker, the last Zenthari Emperor sat alone in the dark. He hadn't spoken in weeks, but now he whispered, "I'm sorry." The tower on his world glowed softly. No judgment, just presence. Back on Earth, Aris finished her message. Silence followed. Then a new sound. Not from her. From the tower. A voice. Not human. Not machine. Ancient.
Calm.
Full of stars. "You have called," it said across every screen, every speaker, every mind in the galaxy. "Now hear the truth." Images filled the skies. Not of war. Of time. Billions of years. Stars born and dying. Planets rising from dust. Life crawling from oceans. Then Earth. Not as a planet. As a promise. The Guardian showed how it came, not from space but from before space. A seed of balance left in the universe by something older than gods. It chose Earth not for strength, but for patience. For kindness. For the ability to wait, even when hurt. "You measured power by fire," the voice said. "We measured it by silence. You lost, not the war, but the chance to grow without pain." Then came the offer. "Lay down your weapons, not because you must, but because you see." A pause. "Or keep them, and live in fear forever." It wasn't a command. It was a choice. That night, Aris stood with Rellik on a hill near the tower. He wore no uniform now, just simple cloth like a farmer. "I thought peace meant weakness," he said. "But this takes more courage than war." Aris nodded. "Because now, you have to face yourself every day." Suddenly, alarms blared. Not loud, but urgent. Aris ran to her ship. Scanners showed a small, fast vessel approaching from deep space. No flag. No signal. It carried one weapon. Not a bomb. A memory core. The last copy of old Earth's history, erased from all galactic records. Someone had saved it, and now they were returning it. As the ship landed, a figure stepped out. Old. Tired. Wearing a tattered Zenthari robe. It was the Emperor. He held the core in shaking hands. "I erased Earth from history," he said, voice breaking, "because I was afraid of what it meant. Now, I give it back. So the galaxy remembers, not just the war, but the choice." He placed the core at Aris's feet. Then he walked toward the tower. The vines reached for him. He didn't flinch. As they touched his skin, his eyes turned silver. Not from force. From surrender. Aris picked up the core. Inside was everything. Earth songs, stories, mistakes, dreams. The real history. Not as a warning. As a lesson. She looked at the sky. The towers across the galaxy glowed in unison, soft white light, like stars waking up. The voice spoke one last time. "You are not punished. You are invited. Invited to grow. To heal. To be more than your fear." Aris smiled through tears. The reckoning was over. Now, the healing could truly begin. Peace had settled over the galaxy like morning mist. Towers stood on every world, not as rulers, but as reminders. Children played near them. Elders sat in their shade. No one feared them anymore. But Aris knew the truth. Peace was fragile. And some secrets were never meant to stay buried. She stood in the heart of Earth's tower, holding the restored memory core, the last record of old Earth.
Songs.
Laughter. Arguments.
Love.
Mistakes. The Guardian pulsed gently beneath her feet. "You kept it hidden," she said aloud. "Not to protect us, but to protect them. No voice answered, but she felt it, the understanding. The real power of Earth wasn't the tower. It wasn't the guardian. It was mercy, the choice to wait, to suffer, to forgive. That was the secret too dangerous for the galaxy to know, because if they saw true strength, they'd either worship it or destroy it. Just then, a soft chime echoed through the chamber. Aris turned. On the wall, a new screen glowed. Not a message. A warning. From deep in the Andromeda galaxy, a signal. Cold.
Sharp. Hungry.
Not from any known world. Something older. It had heard the Guardian's voice. And it was coming. Across the galaxy, the towers reacted at once. Their light dimmed. Not in fear, in preparation. On Zenther Prime, Rellik felt it in his bones. He stood in a field where war machines once rolled, now covered in blue flowers. "They're not alone," he whispered. Lena, now living in a village near the tower, looked up at the sky. The Guardian hid Earth not just from enemies, but from predators. Aris knew what she had to do. She climbed into the wren, not to run, but to warn. As her ship rose, Earth's tower sent out a pulse, not of power, but of memory. Every human, every Zenthari, every child on every world saw the same vision. Earth long ago, not with cities, but with caves. Not with ships, but with hands holding each other. The first humans didn't build weapons. They built stories. And in those stories, they dreamed of a universe where no one had to be afraid. That dream woke the Guardian. And that dream was worth protecting. The unknown signal grew stronger. It wasn't a fleet. It was a mind. A being that fed on fear, on war, on the noise of suffering. It had slept for eons. But Earth's silence, true, deep peace, had starved it. Now it came to end the silence, to break the peace, to make the galaxy scream again. Aris flew to the edge of the solar system. Behind her, every tower on every world began to glow, not red, not white, but gold.
Warm. Human.
The Zenthari, the Vexens, the Chlor, they didn't raise weapons. They raised voices. Singing. Not battle cries. Lullabies. Earth songs. Old words of comfort, passed from mother to child for thousands of years. The sound traveled through space, not as noise, but as feeling.
Love.
Hope. Memory. The approaching mind slowed. Confused. It had never felt this before. It tried to push back, with nightmares, with visions of endless war. But the song grew louder. Aris opened her comms and joined the chorus. She sang the lullaby her mother sang to her brother the night before he died. One by one, billions joined. The song wrapped around the dark mind like light around a shadow. And the shadow shrank, not destroyed, healed. Because even hunger for pain can be soothed by truth. Silence returned. But this time it was full, not empty. On Earth, the black tower slowly folded its arms. The red glow softened to green. Vines turned to trees. Oceans calmed. The Guardian slept again, its job done. Aris landed near the old ruins of London. Children, human and Zenthari, ran through fields, laughing. Rellik planted seeds with Lena. No one spoke of war. Not because they forgot, but because they chose to remember something better. Aris walked to the highest hill and looked at the sky. Stars shone clearly now. No fear. No hiding. She opened her palm. The black seed from Lena rested there. It sprouted. A tiny green shoot pushed through her skin. Not painful, but peaceful. She smiled. Earth's secret was never a weapon. It was trust. The belief that even the worst pain can lead to something beautiful if you wait long enough. And now the galaxy knew, not through force, through a song,
Through a story.
through a child's hand reaching for another across the stars.